Welcome, guys. As you know, today our topic of discussion is the phylum Chordata. I am continuous with the revision series of lectures on animal kingdom. So far as the different phyla of animal kingdom are concerned, we have discussed the invertebrates at length from Porifera up to the Hemichordata. Now we shall be taking the next phylum, that's the phylum Chordata. When you begin to discuss about the chordates, there are many characters of the chordates, rather a large number of chordate characters, but some main fundamental characters have been listed over here by your NCRT text. So we shall first of all focus on those very important chordate features which have been labeled as the fundamental chordate features by the text also. So what are these different chordate features we shall be discussing over here. So let us draw a hypothetical diagram of a chordate to make you understand as to how the different chordate features are there, or what are the fundamental chordate features. Let's try to understand. So the one of the fundamental chordate feature over here, you will see it is the presence of a stiff rod-like structure on the dorsal side of the body of an animal, and it is known as the notochord. This is the notochord. One thing you have to remember, one very important thing, that this notochord lies on the dorsal side of the body. This is the dorsal side and this is the ventral side. So one very important chordate character is the presence of notochord on the dorsal side of the body. Now what is notochord? It is a stiff rod-like structure lying along the back of an animal. The first thing of the chordate, I have already told you that there are many chordate features, but over here we shall be restricting the discussion about the fundamental chordate characters, and after that we shall be moving towards other chordate characters. So the first chordate character is presence of a notochord. Again, notochord is a thin stiff rod-like structure running along the back of an animal. Above the notochord there is another structure like this, which we call as neurochord. Hollow, it is hollow neurochord. Don't get confused over here. This is neurochord and this is notochord. This very portion you see over here, this is the, again if you will draw over here, this is the chordate body for example, and this over here is the notochord, and this is the hollow neurochord. So this is neurochord and this is notochord. This is notochord, and then you see this one, it is the neurochord. Notochord, again I will repeat, it is a stiff rod-like structure lying on the dorsal side of the body, and above it is a double hollow nerve cord. And after that you will see there is another structure which you call as the gill slits. These are the gill slits. So these structures are called as gill slits. So these structures are the gill slits or gill openings. So these are some of the fundamental, what you call as the chordate characters. So there are three fundamental chordate characters. One is the presence of dorsal hollow, notochord. This is the notochord over here. Then there is dorsal hollow neurochord, and then there are gill slits. Again I will repeat that there are many chordate characters, but these you see, these are the fundamental chordate characters. Now let's move towards what we call as the NCRT text, how it proceeds forward. So again I will start from the very beginning. That's animals belonging to the phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of notochord. You have seen where is the notochord, then dorsal hollow neurochord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. If you try to understand over here how the diagram has been drawn over here and how the different components of a chordate body have been discussed, fundamental chordate characters. You see, this is the notochord, this is the neurochord, and these are the pharyngeal gill slits. So we have discussed these three important chordate characters over here. Again, I will repeat that there are not only three chordate characters, there are large number of chordate characters, but what we are discussing over here is the fundamental chordate characters. After that, you see, the text has mentioned clearly that these are bilaterally symmetrical animals. Their chordates are bilaterally symmetrical, and further there are three germ layers in their body, so they are triploblastic, and they are coelomate animals. They have a true coelom with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. This part lying uh, away from the this part lying away from the anus is known as post-anal, means we say after the anus, and this very part is known as tail. The post-anal part of the body is tail, and they have a closed circulatory system. You shall be knowing, or you might be knowing, that a closed circulatory system is one in which there is heart and the blood is pumped through well-defined system of arteries, capillaries, and veins. So after that, there is a very important point. There has been drawn a comparison between the what we call as the chordates and the non-chordates. You have to see this chart so that these things become clear to you, that what are the fundamental differences between a chordate and a non-chordate. तो differences क्या होती हैं एक chordate की एक non-chordate से क्या differences होती हैं, we shall be discussing about that. This very structure you see over here, that's notochord, it is present only in chordates. So notochord is present in chordates and notochord is absent in non-chordates. The phyla you have studied from Porifera to Hemichordata, they are all non-chordates. They don't have any notochord. So we say that notochord is present in all chordates, whereas notochord is absent in non-chordates. After that, in chordates you have seen this neurochord. It forms the central nervous system. So then this neurochord is actually on the dorsal side. So the notochord is also on the dorsal side, whereas neurochord is also on the dorsal side. This neurochord forms the nervous system. So you have seen central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single. ठीक है. Now central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double. अब अगर आप नॉन कॉर्डेट्स में की बात करेंगे, अगर उनमें एक नर्वस सिस्टम है, इट शैल बी ऑन द वेंट्रल साइड, नॉट ऑन द डॉर्सल साइड. वेंट्रल साइड से होगा नॉन कॉर्डेट्स की अगर हम बात करेंगे. सॉलिड है और डबल है. और यहाँ पे कॉर्डेट्स में एक नर्वस सिस्टम है, दैट्स डॉर्सल, हॉलो, एंड सिंगल. Now another very important point about the chordates is that their pharynx is perforated by openings known as gill openings or gill slits, and gill slits are absent in non-chordates. In all non-chordates, the gill slits are absent. In non-chordates, right from the porifera up to the hemichordata, there are no gill slits. Then in all chordates, heart is present, and heart is present on the ventral side of the body. It means on this very side of the body the heart is present. Heart if present, it's not necessary that every non-chordate will have a heart. Some non-chordates have a heart, whereas others do not have. For example, porifera do not have any heart, coelenterata do not have any heart, ctenophora do not have any heart, annelida have a heart, all other higher animals have a heart. So that very heart, you see, if it is present on the dorsal side of the body in case of the non-chordates, but in chordates it's present on the ventral side of the body. Another, a post-anal tail is present. एक post-anal tail होता है in case of the these chordates. Post-anal tail is absent. एक post-anal tail जो है वो absent होता है किन में, what we call as non-chordates. So the chordata phylum is divided into three subphyla. इसको तीन subphyla में हमने तकसीम किया है. That's urochordata or tunicata, cephalochordata, and vertebrata. Before proceeding forward, we will focus a little bit about the discussion we already did. We will be trying to analyze what we studied in the comparison between the chordates and non-chordates. For example, drawing a diagram over here, I draw a diagram over here. If we take this diagram as the diagram of a chordate body, means a chordate over here will designate chordate, and over here I will draw another diagram which I will write over here. AMC means non-chordate. Now let's try to understand what are the fundamental differences. You will see over here there is in chordate body there is presence of a structure like this on the dorsal side of the body. This is the dorsal side, this is the ventral side. This very structure is the notochord. It is the notochord. And in a non-chordate body there is no notochord is absent. Then over here you will see on the dorsal side of the body in a chordate there is present a nerve cord, and if it is present in the non-chordate, it is present on the ventral side of the body. So if nerve cord is present, then it is present on the ventral side of the body, whereas in case of a chordate, the nerve cord is present on the dorsal side of the body. Furthermore, in chordate body there are pharyngeal gill slits like this, but in non-chordates there are no pharyngeal gill slits. And a post-anal tail, this is for example anal part, and this part remaining after the anus is the tail, post-anal part of the body, it is the tail, and these have no tail. The non-chordates have no tail. So these are some of the fundamental differences which we studied in what we call as these animals, which we call as chordates and non-chordates. These are fundamental difference. Now their classification, they have been classified into three subphyla, that's phylum Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Now let us begin the discussion in a detailed manner. So what you see over here is the classification of the phylum Chordata. So far as the classification is concerned, the first subphylum of Chordata is the Urochordata or Tunicata. They are also known as tunicates or urochordates. And second is Cephalochordata, and third one is Vertebrata. Now with respect to the Urochordata and the Cephalochordata, they are togetherly known as Protochordata. So the first chordates were the Urochordates and the Cephalochordates, so they are known as Protochordates also, and they are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, notochord is present only in the tail. If you see the term Euro means tail. So over here we mean to say that in Urochordates, the notochord is present only in the tail region, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to the tail region and is persistent throughout the life. तो यहाँ पे Cephalochordata की बात की जा रही है. In Cephalochordates, अगर Cephalochordates में हम देखें तो notochord is present, but it is present from right from head to tail. For example, यहाँ से यहाँ तक है. So we say this is the difference. So in Urochordata, the notochord is present only in case of tail region, whereas in Cephalochordata it is present from head to the tail. Examples of Urochordata are Ascidia. यहाँ पे है Ascidia. They are sometimes also known as Ascidiaceans. They have a bag-like body. Another example of Urochordates is Salpa. Then there is Doliolum. Doliolum is another example of Urochordates. Then there is example of Cephalochordates. It is Branchiostoma. It's also known as Amphioxus or Lancelet. Sometimes you are asked about these examples in your examination, so keep track of all these very things and make note of these very things seriously. After that, we shall move on towards the third subphylum of the chordata. So the first subphylum is Urochordata, second is Cephalochordata. Togetherly, Urochordata and Cephalochordata are known as Protochordata. They are the first vertebrates. Now we shall move on towards the third advanced subphylum, that's the Vertebrata. Now what happens in Vertebrata? The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers, kidney for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendage which may be fins or limbs. So we shall discuss in a detailed manner regarding this very thing. So we need over here the help of this very thing so that to make it clear. So again I will make you clear this thing by a diagram. So what is said over here is like this. This is a chordate body and in chordate body you will see this is the notochord. And what will happen to the notochord? This is notochord, this is the notochord. What will happen to this very notochord? This notochord is present in the embryonic stage. So we say it is present in the embryonic stage notochord, but when it becomes adult, the notochord gets replaced by a solid structure which you call as the vertebral column. So again I will say over here that this notochord gets replaced by a well defined structure which you call as the vertebral 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 column. That's why they are also known as the vertebrates, because we say that the notochord has got changed into the vertebral column. Over here the notochord has got changed into the vertebral column like this. This is the chordate body, and you will see this is over here the this is the vertebral column. So this is the it is the vertebral column. So from which structure this vertebral column has got formed? You have to remember that vertebral column is seen in case of vertebrates in the adult stage. In the embryonic stage it is basically a notochord. So the vertebral column has been derived basically from the what we call as the notochord. So we say that all vertebrates, whichever an animal is an vertebrate, we have to say that in that very vertebrate, basically before that was formed, before the vertebral column was formed, there was a notochord, and from that very notochord the vertebral column has got basically formed. So you see over here this is the vertebral column, and basically this vertebral column has got formed from the notochord. This is the notochord in the embryonic stage, and in the adult stage it has got converted into the vertebral column. So we can say basically that all vertebrates are chordates. जो सारे vertebrates होते हैं वो तो chordates ही होते हैं. Basically they have a notochord that later on gets changed into the vertebral column, but all chordates are not vertebrates. For example, cephalochordates are also chordates, but in them the notochord remains as such, it doesn't get converted into the vertebral column. Notochord तो cephalochordates में भी होता है, यूरोकॉर्डेट्स में भी होता है, लेकिन वो वैसा ही रहता है, वो कभी vertebral column में डेवलप नहीं होता है. तो chordates can be vertebrates, they can also be invertebrates, but जो भी सारे chordates हैं they are basically जो भी सारी vertebrates हैं they are basically chordates. So we say all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates, because chordates can be cephalochordates, they can be urochordates, they can be vertebrates. So some chordates are vertebrates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. That's why we say that all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Besides this, you will see that in all vertebrates there is a heart present. There's a muscular heart. In all vertebrates you will see there's a muscular heart which is present on the ventral side of the body. There's a muscular heart which is present on the ventral side of the body. So this is a heart. And besides the heart, you will see there are also present kidneys, and the kidneys are present in every chordate, and they have a role in the excretion and osmoregulation. Besides, in all these chordates you will see there are limbs. There are either limbs, for example legs or oramus or other appendage, or in lower vertebrates there are fins like that in case of the these fishes, etc. So this is how we learn over here, and we discuss the things over here. So again, this was a discussion regarding the vertebrates. Later on we will be now moving forward, and we shall be discussing about the classification of the subphylum vertebrata of the phylum chordata. So you folks over here, if we try to analyze the basic fundamental classification of the phylum subphylum vertebrata of phylum Chordata, you will see it is divided into two divisions. So this is subphylum vertebrata. It is divided into two divisions, that is division Aganatha and division Gnathostomata. So what we mean by basically Aganatha? A means no, and Ganatha means jaw. Ganatha means jaw. So they are jawless vertebrates. These are jawless. Aganatha means jawless vertebrates and Gnathostoma means jawed vertebrates. Aganatha वो vertebrates हैं जिनमें कोई जबड़े नहीं है, and Gnathostoma वो vertebrates हैं जिनमें jaws हैं. And after that you see they have been divided into the Aganatha has a single class. Aganatha jawless vertebrates का एक ही class है, and that very class you call as, उस class को हम कहते हैं class Cyclostomata. Cyclostomata, it means circular mouthed Aganatha or circular mouthed jawless vertebrates. Then the division Gnathostoma, it is divided into two superclasses. The superclass first is superclass Pisces. It means the superclass of fishes. तो फिशेस के बारे में मछलियाँ जिसमें आती हैं, दे बियर फिन्स, इनमें फिन्स होती हैं जिनकी वजह से वो स्विम करते हैं. और उसके फिर दो क्लास हैं, दैट्स कॉन्ड्रिक्थीस एंड उस्टिक्थीस. कॉन्ड्रिक्थीस जो हैं ये वो फिशेस हैं जिनमें स्केलेटन जो है दैट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ द कार्टिलेज, और उस्टिक्थीस वो फिशेस हैं जिनमें स्केलेटन जो है दैट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ बोन्स. और ये ग्नाथोस्टोमा का पहला सुपर क्लास है. दूसरा सुपर क्लास है टेट्रापोडा. टेट्रा मीन्स 4, पोडा मीन्स फीट. तो ये वो वर्टेब्रेट्स हैं इन विच देयर आर प्रेजेंट टू पेयर्स ऑफ लिम्बस. जैसे कि एम्फीबिया है, जैसे फ्रॉग की एग्जांपल लेंगे. रेप्टिलिया है, रेप्टिलिया हैं जैसे लिजर्ड्स की एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं आप. एव्स हैं, सारे बर्ड्स हैं इसमें आते हैं, और मैमल्स. तो जो टेट्रापोडा है, टेट्रापोडा में आपके चार क्लास आते हैं, दैट इज क्लास एम्फीबिया, क्लास रेप्टिलिया, class Aves and class Mammalia. So this is the brief classification of what we call as the subphylum Vertebrata. So we shall be restricting this very lecture over here, and after that in the next lecture we shall be discussing about the detailed classification of the subphylum Vertebrata. We shall be taking the Aganatha, that's the jawless vertebrates, and our next discussion shall be on the class Cyclostomata.